Vintage and classic club night, and our last chance for a ride to the meeting before winter bites. It's growing dusk as we cross the River Welland and rock and roll along its high northern bank, pump-drained fens to our right. On the return it will be fully dark, but we have the luxury of electric lights at the flick of a switch. That wasn't always the case for motorcyclists. Since the dawn of internal combustion, our vehicles required a system to set the petrol vapour burning, from early hot tube ignition to the battery power which followed. Roger French's 1904 P&M, seen at the 2023 Flatlands Rally on this channel, had no generator to power its simple trembler coil system and provide sparks at the plug, just a box with a rechargeable lead-acid battery. When the battery went flat, so did the motorcycle. Riders of these early machines who insisted on going out after dark dripped water onto calcium carbide and burnt the resulting acetylene gas to light their way. Magneto ignition and dynamo-powered lighting followed, and by the modern times of our Panther outfit, the Lucas magdyno was king, a magneto with a fibre gear driving its piggyback dynamo. A similar instrument will lead us home tonight. Science lesson incoming. If you've heard it already, cover your ears. Break its complex technology into snack-sized pieces, and the principle of the Lucas Dynamo is simple. I have a unit and a collection of bits here. Electricity is generated in coils of wire spinning through a magnetic field. Brass pads deliver the resulting power to carbon brushes, which select only the bits of juice facing the same way, the direct current which we need to charge a battery. Connections are simple. The dynamo body is an earth, clamped to the magneto and the engine. Never apply paint here. Supposing a machine with negative earth, the two wires coming from the dynamo will both be positive. D the dynamo output, and F a return to it. That F connection is a feedback loop to a field coil bolted into the top of the dynamo body. When energized, this increases the strength of the magnetic field and so raises output. Without this, the body's residual magnetism delivers barely 1.5 volts. To charge the Panther's 6-volt battery, we need 7 or 8, which brings us to the problem of controlling an output which increases with engine speed. The magic for that happens in this little box of treasures, a Lucas RB108. Its 4 connections are marked D, E, A and F. The outer pair, D and F, correspond to those on the dynamo. A is a regulated output to the ammeter at the headlight, and E is the earth, which may be positive or negative depending on the maker and the year of manufacture. Consult a book if you're unsure, but be aware that a previous owner may have reversed it. In earlier years, the makers were kind to the curious owner, providing a spring clip on the cover for easy access. Later units like ours are sealed, implying that there are no user-serviceable parts inside. Gentle leverage soon defeats that instruction. The right-hand coil's contacts are normally open, because electricity, like generosity, may flow both ways. A battery trying to drive the dynamo when the engine stops will quickly discharge. This zero output switch, in effect a rather overcomplicated diode, prevents that, only allowing power to flow once dynamo output exceeds battery volts. Coil number 2's contacts are normally closed, applying dynamo output back to the field winding to strengthen the magnetic field. Correctly set, a 6-volt system opens the contacts when voltage rises above about 7.8 volts. In practice, they open and close rapidly around that point, holding a level to charge the battery. Okay, you can unblock your ears now. Just 2 bikes when we arrive at the Goat, neither with our group.
Is that all right?
On the cool side. All right.
After the meeting, section kingpins Gary and Kay wait to see us off.
Going to make a video of the return run.
All right.
Like what night riding is like with 6 volts.
I go through my routine. The Panther sneezes once, fires and runs, as keen to get moving as I am. No need to check that my camera is running, because I can see the reflection of its red LED in tank cap and horn push. I relish a night ride. Darkness has so many shades. Tonight's full moon is obscured by heavy overcast, and beyond town a headlight will be our only illumination. For the first mile or two the street lights guide us, their glow swelling and fading as we pass below. We cross the Welland here on a single-track bridge, hang a left and are soon completely reliant on the system provided by Lucas, often unkindly referred to as the Prince of Darkness. Reviewing this video, I feel a need to reassure you that I could see considerably more than it appears, and remind myself that we are talking about a product designed to cope with motoring in the 1950s. The headlight beam's angle does leave a little to be desired, and I reach forward to haul it up on its bolts. It soon sinks back. But the last thing I want to do on a dark side road is stop and get spanners out. The central white lines are a useful guide to navigation, and reflective roadside furniture throws back our light. Up ahead, the village of Peakirk's lamps are searingly bright to my night eyes. But we are rapidly through its 30 miles an hour limit. My sense of danger here is no more than that experienced on any motorcycle trip, though night riding does require full concentration. Fortunately, there's little to distract us in the scenery. The dark is so intense. I recall a rather different night ride from a Panther meeting in deepest Essex, one New Year's night back in the 1980s, riding our outfit home to Cambridgeshire in moonlight and sparkling frost so bright along the roadside banks that the 6-volt headlight was almost redundant. We negotiate 2 cross routes, one with convenient night works forming a roadblock. A car catches us, its quartz halogen blaze projecting a huge shadow of a motorcycle and sidecar to completely defeat our light. Thankfully, it soon overtakes. On the stretch beyond, a bit of magic happens. A break in the clouds revealing a full moon which dives in and out beyond the tops of roadside trees, adding another dimension to our flight through darkness to a soundtrack of Panther thunder. This Arrow Strait section permits a steady 45 miles an hour until we back off for the next junction. A dogleg onto bright-lit dual carriageway, a couple of miles of trunk road, and we're on single track, with bends so familiar that the Panther is practically flying on autopilot. That was romantic, I comment to Angie as she clambers from the sidecar. Terrifying would describe it better, she says. I run the engine up next day to see a charge of 4 amps on the meter, which suggests that the system is not keeping pace with the lights. On our original Model 120, used for daily work runs in winter, I eventually fitted a 12-volt alternator system. I've decided to upgrade this Panther system more sympathetically, with a Lucas 12-volt dynamo conversion and LED lights. That's one for a future video. Perhaps Angie will agree to accompany me on another romantic night ride, by way of comparison.